This is my laptop, this is you, let's go. Number one is your du'as are already accepted. And that is not me, that is Allah. Allah said, I already given you everything you asked. That means every single version or every single dua you have that you're asking is already there. You just need to align. My source story, you can read this. I'm not going to read it word for word. It's just so I don't, go away and talk about other things. I want to be like focused. So in short, I have been coached people who are making millions, and I reach millions of people every single month. Mashallah. I just get money out of nowhere. I made thousands from crypto, thousands from sales. It's not how you make it or when you make it. It's not like the vehicle. It's just when you align with Allah, Allah will literally guide you. He will tell you, do this from inspired actions. So you don't have to worry about how will you do it. And most people live in that, they ask, then they wait, and then Allah decides. It's not like that. Allah says, call upon me and I will answer. That means that if you want anything, just call upon Allah and then have faith. He will answer. Because Allah clearly said, call upon me, I will answer. Not I may answer, I will. So Allah is not asking for just call upon me and then be uncertain, be on doubt. He's like, call upon me and be certain. The moment I talk about it, the sun goes. That's amazing. Allah says, we have already created man and know what his soul whispers to him, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein. No disaster strikes upon the earth or among yourselves except that it is in our register before we bring it into being. Indeed, that for Allah is easy. Allah says in another verse that something like that, I may different it, but it says that there is angels or some people that write what you say. So it's not just physically what you say, it's mental. It's like what you think, what you feel, what you believe, what's your identity. And that is in that register, this same register. And Allah says, we just give you what is in that register. So in short, that's what it means. So your thoughts, feelings, your identity, beliefs, all of this is in that register. And Allah says, I will give you from that register. So it is very powerful. I don't want to go in depth, but it already exists in the unseen before it comes to reality. Your du'as are already written. Your outcome is written. The timing is written. All you need to do is align, become that person who is capable, who is already that person who has that money, and reality has no choice but to give it to you. It's not like, I'm just going to ask, I'm just going to wait. No, you become internally that thing that you want already, and then wait for reality to give you, because it has no choice. It has to obey you. Becoming supernatural, no, it was in The Power of Subconscious Mind, or in another book. It was like your subconscious mind has no choice but to obey you. And how it obeys you is by you thinking that it is already done. You knowing. Knowing is the key. Not just believing, knowing. Because with knowing, there is no doubt. The real reason why du'as feel delayed. Because most people ask Allah while their heart is still gripping the dunya. They ask, then immediately check reality. They ask Allah, then worry. They ask Allah, then imagine failure. That is what Allah never said to do. And if you're always checking your bank account and you want money and you're like, Allah, please give me money, you need to know Allah will answer. Allah literally said. But if you keep checking your bank account, if you keep checking reality to give that to you before you give it to yourself, because now you don't even need reality to change because you have, or you already have it. That is what you need. That is what you want. So it's not other way around. It's other way around. You first give it to yourself before the world gives it to you. Allah says, presence, certainty, tawakkul. Not desperation, fear, attachment. Rumi said, why are you busy looking for proof? The proof is looking for you. Psalms, when the soul is ready, the path appears. This is powerful. This is very powerful. You need these three things. Presence, you're always living in the now, because Manifestation is instant, and all you have is now. There is no past, there is no future. The past doesn't exist, the future doesn't exist, only the now, the present. You can rewire your past. If you're always thinking like, oh, why did that happen? You can actually go revisit it through your imagination, change that so your emotions changes, so you change your past. Because most people live in the past. They're like, oh man, the money is not there, everything is bad. Look, they justify their lack of du'as being accepted by looking at the past. So why not change it? That is a different video, so let's just not go there. But look at that. It's not desperation, it's not fear, it's not attachment. Most people are so desperate. I need that person. I need that money. I'm in debt. The more you need, the more you never get. That is just a law. Law of neediness, whatever you want to call it. The more you run to that partner, the more they run. The more you run to money, the more it runs. No one likes neediness energy. Now fear. It's not fear. You can be like, oh yeah, I'm in debt. Now the people are gonna come and take me to that place and this place. I'm done. No, Allah said do not fear. Because with fearing, you can actually create diseases. You can actually do so many bad things to yourself. Even if you are not even sick. You imagining you're sick, you feeling you're sick, you're thinking you're sick, you will be sick. That is the power of believing and knowing. So if you can create bad things, you can create good things too. But your mind is wired to having, bad things into your life. By your society, by the people in your life, they have made you fear-driven, not abundance-driven. So Rumi said, why are you busy looking for proof? The proof is looking for you. The thing that you seek is already seeking you. But right now, you're walking the wrong path. You're not walking that path which that thing is there. And how you walk to that path is by aligning to Allah, meaning aligning to Allah's mercy, Allah's guidance. And how you do that is by the things I'm going to tell you. Step 1, purify the heart. What you need to do is say astaghfirullah slowly from honesty. Just don't say astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, and you're not even saying it with feeling or the heart. You're just saying it from the mind. And like I told you in the previous videos, your heart is 1,000x stronger than your mind. So just don't say it from your mind. It's not powerful. Millions of affirmations done with the mind, no feelings, is useless. So you have to say astaghfirullah slowly. It's not just asking forgiveness. It's like cleaning your heart from all of that sins, suppressed emotions, trauma that is blocking your, du'as being manifested in this reality. Feel where you are being rushing, where you have been doubting, where you have been attached. Istighfar cleans the heart so it can receive. And Allah promises, literally, He will send wealth, rain, children, and provision through seeking forgiveness. Not maybe, He said He will. And I will say that astaghfirullah is one of the main reasons that changed my life. And that is my experience, my own experience. I started getting millions of views when I started saying astaghfirullah. Got money from nowhere. It's just long stories. But step 2, enter presence. Stop visualizing outcome, replaying problems, sit in gratitude. Presence is worship, silence is trust. This is where the heart aligns. Allah says, if you're grateful, I will certainly increase you, sorely increase you. Allah literally said, if you ask forgiveness, wait, what is this? If you ask forgiveness, I will give you children and wealth. Same here in gratitude. Allah literally promises you wealth. So these two things, just do it with presence, like I told you in here, and you will find amazing results. Step 3, ask once with certainty. Not always beg. Allah said, call upon me, not a lot. He said, call upon me. It can be once, and then I will answer. So call upon once with certainty, and then be certain that it is done. It is going to be accepted. It is already done. Because it already has. It's just going to be manifested in this reality, but it's already done in the unseen. Just ask once and then stop. The prophets, I never seen them or maybe I'm wrong, but the one story that I was reading, the way the Prophet asked Allah was just, Allah, you are Al-Razak, and something like that, but he just asked once. But they always, or most of them, start with Allah and the 99 names of Allah, mostly what you want in your life. If you want money, Allah, you are Ya Razak, and then ask what you want. Because Allah heard you. Allah is near. Allah says, I am near. I'm closer to you than your jugular vein. So Allah is near. You don't need to repeat it. After dua, they keep watching the dunya. Like I said, let go. When you release, reality moves. When you grip, it freezes. Tawakkul is not weakness, it's alignment. So the thing is, most people are like asking dua, and the next day, the next week, they always kept, they're doubting. It's not even they're, keep checking. They keep checking because they're doubting, they're uncertain. And if you're doubtful about your dua, never ever is gonna be accepted. Never, never, never. Never did to me, never will for you. Most likely 99%. Because if you don't even have certainty that that dua is accepted, then it's never gonna be. If you look at inventors, electricity, the people who made electricity, the guy who made electricity, the guy who made telephones, do you understand the guy who made airplanes? Do you understand how hard it would have been for a normal person to grasp that thing? Because it was never existing before. Like, could you imagine back in the day that telephones existed, that internet existed, wireless, there is no wires. Airplanes, imagine so many weight of the airplane and it's flying. Could you ever imagine? So even if you don't even believe it's possible, it's never gonna be. Those people knew in their heart it's gonna be possible. That's why it was possible. Not because, they find the magic formula. No, first they knew it is possible, then they got inspired action through their creative imagination. Then they, did the actions, but they first had to believe. Not believe, no. It is already possible. It is possible. Certainty. If you don't even have yaqeen in your du'as that they are going to be accepted, do not ask for those du'as. Ask for less until you build your manifestation muscle so you can go up and up. That is what my coaches tell me. And first of all, peace enters first, then signs appear, then doors open. These are the three things happen. First, Allah says, I don't change your situation or the condition of a nation until you change what's within. So first, peace enters internal, then the signs appear, and then the doors open. Sometimes instantly, sometimes quietly, always perfectly. Because even if Allah is stopping something, He does not hate you. He says, a mother who is just, away, she loves you so much. Why do you think Allah hates you? Why do you think Allah doesn't care about you? He's not punishing you. Even if He's holding something back, maybe it's bad for you, or maybe you're not ready for that. You will be overwhelmed if that thing came before the right time. So trust Allah's plan. That's what you're lacking. You're lacking trust. And Allah is never late, like I told you. Stop watching the clock. And now you can see that I have free guide, and if you want to join my inner circle, deeper guidance, I will tell you what I paid thousands who were millionaires close to me. First link in the description. But remember this, your dua was never rejected. It was waiting for you to become ready to see it. Become ready. Be that person. Once you be that person, once you know it is done, reality has no choice but to accept your dua. If you reach till this far, just say Allah is the greatest in the comments. And for now, Allah Hafiz.